Today in crypto, will Bitcoin cross the fabled $20,000 mark this year? With many people out there giving into fear, you might think that we will never see a new all-time high ever again. But I believe that the doom and gloomers are wrong. Bitcoin will hit new all-time highs. It is inevitable. The only question is, when is that going to happen? Personally, I think that we might just reach up and touch that $20,000 mark this year. The cryptolark. This is where you subscribe for all of the latest and hottest happening in crypto. Now, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down my reasons for why I think that's the case. But before I do break that down for you, if you are a trader, then check out Bybit. It is an awesome exchange for longing and shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And right now they are running a $100 bonus in addition to the usual $90 sign-up bonus. Now that $100 bonus is available to new and existing users and is valid after depositing 0.1 Bitcoin or more. Terms and conditions do apply. Click on the link down below to get signed up if you aren't yet. Please do note though that this is a leverage trading exchange and that it is for experienced traders only who understand how to manage their risk. Inexperienced traders need not apply. Okay, so let's talk about the price of Bitcoin. Now, this current sideways market action that we're seeing, it has got a lot of investors spooked. They thought that we should be on the moon by now. Patience. Patience is key. Bitcoin is a game of steady survivors. I mean, seriously, do you actually believe that Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000 one of these days? Because if you actually believe that, then why are you worried about the price today? Bitcoin under $10,000? That's still basically at the bottom of the new bull cycle. We just hit the golden cross, and no, contrary to what some may believe, a golden cross does not mean instant supermoon. It means the beginning of a highly significant cycle. We are likely at the beginning of a cycle which could last for up to 2 years. So you better be ready. You better be well positioned for this cycle to take advantage of it. And you also need to ask yourself, is Bitcoin at $100,000 actually such a crazy proposition? I don't think that it is. Let's take a look here at the logarithmic growth curve for Bitcoin so we can actually see where the trends are moving. Now here we can see currently that we are on the lower end of this cycle. The upper end of this cycle is right around the $100,000 mark for Bitcoin. And the possibility that we see Bitcoin overshoot that $100,000 mark and hit a much higher high is very likely once retail mania takes off again. And yes, retail mania will take off again. It's just a matter of time. Also, this log chart is very well aligned with the stock to flow chart and the predictions that that is giving us for the future price of Bitcoin. But let's stay on the conservative end of the scale, $100,000 Bitcoin at the next cycle peak. And people are getting freaked out over a 5 or 10% drop. Dips are for buying in bull trends. Those people who have been steadily stacking sats, dollar cost averaging in, and making those low risk trades to increase their Bitcoin pile, oh man, they're going to be super well rewarded in the coming years. Heck, even if you bought every single top, think about that, if you bought every single top, you will still be just fine in the coming years if Bitcoin gets to $100,000. Because this bullish market structure, it is still in place even though we have a few temporary bumps. 2020 is going to be a very interesting year. And yes, I will get to my price prediction for 2020 in a moment. But 2021 and likely part or all of 2022, that is when the real crazy price action is going to come into the markets if we are to believe that the cycles will play out as we are predicting. Because the real gains come 18 months after the Bitcoin halving, if history will indeed rhyme. So the year of the halving back in 2016 saw some good gains, but not astronomical gains. But it was the year following the halving when things really got crazy. In 2017, Bitcoin did a 20x. 20x, that's wild, which is definitely awesome. But You got to keep in mind too, the future bull run, it's not going to be all about Bitcoin. Altcoins are going to go insane too. And for the more adventurous investors and traders out there, that is where the real money is going to be made, because just 10xing your wealth in 2 years with Bitcoin, boring, man, boring. Okay, but seriously, 10x your money, that is crazy stuff without a doubt. But keep it real, 100x altcoin moves, that is definitely going to happen. But that's a topic for another video for another day. And I do have that video coming, so stay tuned for that. Now, looking back, during the last halving in 2016, the price of Bitcoin rose around 140% from $400 up to $1,000. Now, if something similar happens in 2020 percentage-wise, then Bitcoin will equal $17,000 near the end of the year. $17,000, not bad, almost double from where we are right now. However, one key difference is that the halving is about 2 months earlier in 2020 than it was back in 2016. So that gives us more time for price development in 2020. So yes, a $20,000 Bitcoin seems very likely. So yes, I predict that we will reach a new all-time high this year. Does that mean that we're going to hit $50,000? No. The massive peaks, those come later. But just crossing over $20,000, that is going to be a very, very big step for Bitcoin. And I think that $20,000 this time is actually going to be way more impactful than it was back in 2017. Fundamentally, the market has matured so much. We have so much more infrastructure right now. We have more fiat on-ramps. We have more exchanges. And we have so many more options for providers and custody and leverage trading and lending. All this kind of stuff that's happened to the crypto markets in the last few years. Very, very exciting to see how far it has developed. Now, me personally, I hope that we're just going to have a nice, chill rise up to higher prices. But you know Bitcoin doesn't really do chill. It's the crazy honey badger. Bitcoin's probably going to surprise a lot of people in its movements in the coming year. That being said, I do not think that Bitcoin will reach a new high before the halving. Historically, it hasn't happened. And the way it is looking now, I don't think that it's going to happen before this halving either. A higher price than now? Yes, I still think there's some pre-halving hype that we haven't really experienced yet. But a new all-time high? Not before the halving. But later this year, when we start to see the longer-term effects of the halving actually starting to play out with less Bitcoin being sold on the markets by the miners, then yes, we could see Bitcoin just peaking over that $20,000 mark. But while a lot of people are really focused on that $20,000 high water mark, and that hitting that new all-time high, $10,000 has really proven to be a very defining price for Bitcoin. I mean, seriously, we spend a lot of time talking about Bitcoin going back up to the good old days of $20,000. But let's be real, Bitcoin is at $20,000 for a few minutes on a few exchanges. That's it. It was a very short moment. It was only above $18,000 for 4 or 5 days. It only spent 3 weeks above $15,000. That was the parabolic top of crazy land. The real battle has been the struggle for staying over $10,000, which is proving to be a super important psychological number barrier for the crypto markets. But if you think that $10,000 is hard to cross, then just wait. Wait for the struggle to crawl across the $20,000 mark and then to stay above the $20,000 mark and to watch Bitcoin soar above and beyond all of that. It's not going to be easy. I think there's going to be a lot of resistance once we start getting in those higher number areas and a few failed tests. But when 20K does come, and it will come, watch out. Normies are going to start piling in again in massive numbers. Even right now, the stats for Bitcoin are crazy. Bitcoin has been a profitable investment for more than 95% of its lifespan. Let the power of that fact just sink in for a second. It is massive. Stack, sats, and chill. Play the long game. Now, $20,000, that's just this year, but I want to play a clip from Tim Draper discussing Bitcoin for a little bit of a bigger prediction.
Well, I'm still holding to my prediction. I think Bitcoin in 2022 or at the beginning of 2023 will hit 250,000. And that is a big move from where it is here. And I think that the reason there is that Bitcoin will be the currency of choice. I mean, right now you have this choice, and Bitcoin's not as easy to move around, but eventually it will be. And then you'll have a choice and you'll say, hey, do I want to pay the banks 2.5% to 4% every time I swipe my credit card? Or do I want a currency that's frictionless, open, transparent, global, and not tied to any political force? I mean, this is, at some point, people are going to make that switch and Bitcoin is going to be the big winner.
So it seems that Tim is standing by his $250,000 prediction, but just stop for a second again to imagine this. Bitcoin is going to 25x in the next few years. Why are you worrying about a little 5% price drop? There is still so much room to grow. All these amazing roads have been built. The infrastructure is amazing, and day by day we see more and more drivers using those crypto roads. By some estimates, we only have around 1% to 2% of global internet users that actually own cryptocurrency, which means that there is a lot of upside for new users to come on and start using crypto. We are still super early. Anyway, those are just my 2 Satoshis. I would love to know your opinion. Do you think that we will see the price of Bitcoin over $20,000 this year? Do you think that the predictions of Bitcoin hitting crazy high valuations like $250,000, is that too crazy? Or do you see that as being inevitable? Let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching today's video. Seriously, I really appreciate you for taking the time out of your day to come and listen to this dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.